Welcome to Love Chats. I'm Dr. Kathryn Elliott, and Marianne has a question for us today.
So, Kathryn, can you talk to us about what it would be like in a relationship to not need to win and be right, but to be loving and happy, like accept one another? Can you talk to us about that?
Yes. Boy, that's a question that most people have to deal with at some time in our relationships is how can you stop wanting to be right and to win and instead want to be happy? That deals with the inner critic. So I want to introduce the concept of the inner critic to you. The inner critic is a part of us, and it's in everybody, who demands that we be perfect, who imposes shoulds and shouldn'ts, and they're not just simple recipe shoulds. They're always backed by the threat of emotional pain if you don't obey. It'll make you feel terrible. In fact, I want to give you a tip right now. If ever you're feeling bad emotionally, you can bet that it's your inner critic pouncing, telling you you've done something wrong or you're about to do something wrong. And so the inner critic is constantly poised to sabotage a couple's relationship. And one of the ways it likes to do it is to whisper in one partner's ear, you shouldn't lose in this argument. You shouldn't be under a man's thumb or a woman's thumb. Instead, win at all costs. And so we have to do two things to get out of this pattern of wanting to win at all costs. The first thing we have to do is make a values choice. And that's something that is a sort of moment of clarity. I went through that with Jim. It was a matter of my wanting to win and looking like a good counselor. Jim was training me in empathetic therapy. And we were sitting together, seeing couples. And after the session, Jim turned to me and said, you know, when you said that thing to the couple, it probably would have been more productive for them if you had said this instead. Well, I became instantly defensive. Like, I've been doing counseling for 12 years now, and so I know what I'm doing. And he said, you know, Kathryn, you have a choice to make. You can either be a master therapist or you can have your pride. And that was a moment of clarity for me, because it was absolutely true that I could either learn the wisdom he had amassed in the 25 more years of therapy experience he had had, plus he was a genius, and so I could learn from him, or I could have the pride of, I know what I'm doing, damn it. And so I realized, what am I doing? I have this golden opportunity to learn from my husband, and instead I'm choosing pride. I'm not doing that anymore. I made a values choice at that moment. I said, I choose being a master therapist rather than defending my knowledge that was, sure, it was what it was and it was good, but it was only a foundation. I had so much more I could learn, and I'm glad I did, because I did become that master therapist he promised I could be. So you too, as you're in these winning moments in your relationships, have a values choice to make. Do I want to win, or do I want to have a collaborative, loving relationship right now? Do I want to turn over and turn my back to my partner in bed, or do I want a loving, snuggling night? You know, we have these moments of great option to be able to have the opportunity to love each other and to live in bliss for a lifetime. And all we have to do is make a values choice, moment by moment. If we feel ourselves hardening or stiffening up, I could tell when I was getting into a winning place, because my body would go into a high horse place that would stiffen and lift my chin. And I knew when I felt that I was going into, I gotta win right now. So I could tell in my own body where the clues were that I was in a winning mode. You too can probably tell what your body feels like when you want to win. Watch for it and then make a choice. Do I want to win right now, or do I want love or happiness or whatever the other happy opportunity is for you? The second thing that you'll need to do to get out of the pain that winning causes in relationships is to recognize and label your inner critic when it's at work, when it's poised to sabotage your relationship. Now, I talk about this much more in our book, Creating Optimal Relationships, that I've been reviewing right there that you can see. Well, in the book, we talk about how can you tell when the inner critic is poised to sabotage a couple's relationship. You can tell because you'll become defensive and you'll want to win. Well, what can you do? First off, just label it. If you label, that's my inner critic, you've got half the battle won. Then there are ways to get free from the inner critic, and we have the book Disarming Your Inner Critic, which goes into great detail to tell you how to get free. But the quickest thing you can do is to say, inner critic, I'm not going to let you run my relationship life because you're going to sabotage it. So that's step one. There are many others, and I'll be telling you about them. For today, I wish you inner freedom and the choice of love over winning. Have a loving day.